Morning, everybody. This is Tao of the Day. I'm coming on early because I have a number of things I got going on today, so I wanted to make sure I have enough time to come on. And once again, coming on early, I often have less people around, and so I just get to explore things really nicely and wrap it up really nicely, and all of these sorts of things. So if you have a number between 1 and 81 you want to select, please definitely show some love. Give me a little jump up on stage, and we'll chat about that. I do have a little announcement to make. Tao of the Day has been pretty straightforward throughout my entire time here on Wisdom, and on Monday we're going to be changing it up a little bit, but just for Monday. Monday, what we're going to do is we're going to be on location on High Street in Glastonbury with Julie Howlett. If you guys are familiar with me, I'm sure you have run across Julie Howlett in the past. Julie is a fellow top mentor here on Wisdom, and she's been doing a road trip across England. And she will be on location on High Street in Glastonbury, and so Monday, nobody will be getting a Tao here on Wisdom other than Julie, and she's going to be talking with passersby and other things, and we're going to be introducing the Tao of the Day to people in Glastonbury. If you have a number between 1 and 81 you'd like to select, definitely come up on stage, pick a number. We'll read that chapter of the Tao. We'll go through it. We'll talk about what pops out, and then we'll go through it line by line together. So if you're not familiar with the Tao Te Ching, it is a text that translates to the canon of reason, the collection of writings that help us live a reasonable life. So uh, when we talk about the Tao once again is an ancient text, meaning it was written at 600 BCE. That's around the same time scholars say that the Old Testament was written. And on Monday, we're going to be having a co-host out on the High Street in Glastonbury, England, where Julie Howlett is going to introduce people walking by and other individuals to the Tao of the Day. She has been such a fan; her life has been altered by it, and she is going to introduce it to more people, and I'm grateful for that. So there will be a little bit of a change happening on Monday. If you are interested in jumping up and having a conversation, come on up and pick a number between 1 and 81 here at 4:07 on Pacific time. Lois is going to join me. How are you doing, girl?
Hey, Mark, I'm doing good looking for this remote because I was watching old Olympics because I don't watch TV. But anyway, how you doing?
I'm doing really well. I don't know if you just heard that, but Julie, she's doing her road trip right now,
Right.
her bicycle trip. She's going to be on the High Street in Glastonbury on Monday, and she's going to kind of be my co-host on location. We're going to be talking with people on the street with the Tao of the Day.
How cool is that?
Yeah, so that's going to be super cool.
That's gonna be so cool because it's like on the street with Julie for the doll.
That's right. That's right. Tao of the Day on the street with Julie, like on location. She's gonna be just kind of pulling people in and talking to them and bringing them in and introducing them to the Tao and stuff. We're gonna do it all live here on Wisdom.
How cool is that? All right. Okay, I think I want number 46. I've been so busy and running around. I've been so sleepy and tired. I ain't been able to. Well, I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I wake up at my normal 4:30, but because I know I got too much to do, I make myself go back to sleep so
Yeah.
so that I can make it through to the end of the what's it the work hour week or whatever. But hey, it's rest time now until tonight. So I'm like, hey, I
Are
can
you
get
going
up.
dancing tonight?
Yeah, I need it now because I need to empty my head and just like let it free. Yeah,
Yes, yes. Well, that's great. I think that it's been a long time since I've gone dancing, and it's not necessarily making its way back in, but I do enjoy hearing that you've gone. So,
it's balanced for me. I mean, for me, I don't like regimented exercise. I don't like
right.
exercise. I don't
Right.
like counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, one, two more, 8 more. No, that shit is boring as hell to me.
Yeah.
So, all my life, the only way I've been able to sustain exercise is through dancing. And for me, because I was a mama and had kids, I had my exercise had to do be so I had to do double duty, get my
Mm-hmm.
social and my exercise at the same time.
Yeah.
Dancing became the way to do that, where I can socialize with adults
Mm-hmm.
and still get my dance on. So yeah, that's why I do it.
It's
Now I
good.
don't,
It's good to
and I
break
don't
that
feel,
sweat, man.
man, yeah, and you don't feel, well for me, because dancing is transcendent. Maybe because whatever, I don't know. Maybe I was born that way, but I don't feel pain or anything
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
here in the world when I'm on that dance floor. And I'm like, please don't interrupt my flow, okay? I'm
Yeah.
good. But because I usually dance all by myself, and people come in, they'll join. Hey, you can come on join, but I'm still just exercising.
You
Okay,
know, I remember going to the club when I was younger and I was sober already. And
hmm.
I would hit the dance floor before anybody else was ready. 'Cause
Oh
like
man,
I went out dancing.
oh
I wasn't out there to get tipsy and then dance. I was out there to go dance, you know?
man,
And
that's
so you
how
just
I.
and you own it. You own it all night. And then people start coming on, around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Like and then, like right around 11:30, 12, like starts filling up, but you still got your space because you own that shit.
Okay, and the thing is that people say, "How do you do that? You just get out here, ain't nobody on the floor." I'm like, "How can you sit down?
That's
All
right.
that good music is playing and it's moving my feet." First, I'll sit there and say, "Do I feel like getting? Do I want to dance? Do I, I'm here to dance. Do I want to dance?" And then I hear something, and then the toes start wiggling, then the knee
Mm-hmm.
starts bopping, and then the head, and then it's like, shit, I can't sit down. It's like if something gets in me, it's like electrical jolt or something. Like get
Yeah.
up,
Get it.
and then I stay out there for, oh my god, hours. I've done it. I've danced. One day I was, this is recently. I was dancing solo on the dance floor. I was in my own world. I looked up. I looked around like, where's everybody at?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was almost closing time, but I didn't realize that I needed to go there. That but luckily, when I give myself in, I generally have somebody around who knows me or whatever, who's watching and everything, like,
Yeah.
what I mean. I don't do nothing stupid where I just zone out. But
Right. Yeah.
that, I'll never say, "Girl, you was just dancing your ass off. What the hell?" She said, Where'd you learn how to do?" I said, "I don't learn how to do stuff. I just move and let my
Just
body,
move. Mm-hmm.
and then I make it do what it do, baby." And I do like
Right.
Ray
That's right.
Charles. But yeah, I just do it, and it's so freeing and so fun, and I get to be really creative because I watch what other people are doing, then I see what they're doing, and I put something else funky to it, and it's like, that ain't what I was doing. That's what I
That's
know.
right.
So
All
I
right, so let's see what the Tao has for our dancing day. When the world is right with Tao, Lao Tzu said, horses haul fertilizer to fields. When the world loses touch with Tao, horses are trained for cavalry. Nothing is more insidious than possession. Nothing is more dangerous than desire. Nothing is more disastrous than greed. If you know when enough is enough, you will always have enough.
That is so beautiful, because my affirmation before I went to sleep last night was, what was it? It said, I said, I was enough, I am enough, and I always will be enough. And
Mm,
enough, and all that I need, I have. And
yeah,
I just went my ass to sleep. Okay, because I do. That's the way it is. But if you think about it, when you're in any given moment, you have every damn thing you need for that moment. Period.
yeah,
You may say, "Well, I need money." No, in this moment you don't. You
right,
know what I'm saying? In this moment you don't, when you're sitting there talking. So no, when you need money when you go to the store, when you pay your bills, But if you're sitting in this moment, you don't need anything.
right,
You know?
right, right.
And for me, I get content so easily now. It just is unreal. And I can remember when I wouldn't. I can remember when I'd be complaining about everything, even my usually me. How come I didn't do this? How come I? Oh, I was shit all over myself. I tell the Lord,
Mhm,
I
mhm.
shit all over myself, and then I'd frack myself up.
Yeah.
How come I couldn't have did this? Where is this at? How come I? No, hell no. So no more fracking and no more beating myself up. Hey, things are what they are. When I feel like doing it, I'll do it. When I don't, I don't. There's no guilt. There's no remorse, and I just, like I said, just flow. And I don't worry about all the things that everybody else worries about. I'm concerned. I sent Dragon Ball Z energy love balls to people.
I don't
Lord, I'm
know what those are, but
joking. You sent Dragon Ball Z, right?
no.
Oh my Jesus. Okay. It's a cartoon that I don't even watch Dragon Ball Z, but I have friends that's grown and has people who love that damn shit. So I'm one of them people. I'm gonna try it. I told you I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
but what's this all about? You so gung ho. Dragon Ball Z, you're a grown person. And when I looked at it, I didn't see what they saw. I
Yeah.
saw energy and power, and there just a war. And I don't know exactly the theme of what it was I saw, but all I know is that whenever the main character was getting ready to have to defend or protect or whatever, he would get and he would put his two hands out like he had a ball in his hand, and he start pressing it together, pressing it together. And as he presses, this ball is gathering more energy. This big old energy ball gets super, super big. And then, depending on his enemy, that's how long he presses his hand. And then he sends this big ball of light out, and it blows away fucking everything.
That's a lot like Reiki. That's a lot like energy work. I do energy work and I do that exact movement.
Yeah,
And
well, I do it for
yeah.
me, and I do it when I see homeless people or anything that makes me feel like, oh God, I know how they feel. Anytime
Yeah.
I feel passion, it's not
It's
sorry
it's
for,
supportive. It's
but
supportive. It's a work. It's energy that we do to love each other. Really.
yeah. So
You know.
I just Dragon Ball Z it, and I Ho'oponopono that shit, and I Dragon Ball Z it.
That's
Okay,
beautiful. Yeah.
so yeah, so that needs to, especially when I get really, 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 and the energy is flowing so good, and I'm not talking on the app, and I'm just here with my dog, and my dog is going ape shit because when our energy flows, she wants to lick and kiss, and it's like,
Hmm.
okay. So then I'm like, okay, it's building up, so let me build it up some more and send it out. And I think about people, and I think like Ukraine, whatever the hell is going on. I just found out about the shooting. And the thing is that if I focus on that and why and who, what, we know we need mental health care in this United States. But more than that, we need parents who need to be there for their kids, to listen, to pay attention, to see, because that's just somebody nobody was seeing. And I haven't even heard the story. Okay, I don't need to hear
Mm.
the story. I know if some kid goes and does something like that, they're hurting, and nobody has heard them at all or taken the time to hear them. That's been my experience in mental health, when the kids would have blowouts and they go and shoot somebody or they do something, because I'd end up with kids that were in probation and that did shit like this. So
Yeah. No,
the
I hear that.
denominator is no parents are at home. Parents may be in their life because they working, but they
Well, they and
doing
they
some
and they may
job.
not they may be at home, but they
They're
might
not
not be at
there.
home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, they're not there because they
Yeah.
focused on the intricacies of life and stuff so much inside themselves. They're just thinking they have offspring. They ain't realizing they supposed to be nurturing these offspring, not raising them like they cattle and sending them out.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's a difference. But yeah, I like this one because it makes me feel settled in where I am.
So
Um,
I wanna look at this as especially in terms of like where you're at, and of course, if we can bring it back to the Texas shooting,
okay.
like I always want to be able to, open up minds because the Tao doesn't take sides, right? It's
No,
not about It's like, yes, we have gun laws that need to probably be addressed.
Hmm.
Yes, we have mental health that needs to be addressed. Yes, we have parenting that needs to be addressed. Yes, we have a consumer world that needs to be addressed, which nobody wants to be able to look at and say, hey, it's just fucked up, right? Like, but
Hmm.
when we look at this Tao, let's see what we can bring it back to. When the world is right with Tao, horses haul fertilizer to the fields. And what I see that as is like, when you're right with Tao, you're going to do work that nourishes and supports those things around you, because fertilizer is going to make your field productive.
Right.
It's going to make your field like rich. It's going to make your field um it's going to support your field with nutrients. And I'm thinking of a word that I can't, that's not coming to me, but either
Well,
way it's like.
for me, you know how I think about fertilizer. Okay, all the shit we go through in life that we don't like, or that we do like, or that we are bothered by, is nothing but fertilizer for our growth. Every time we meet somebody, they're bringing us fertilizer for our growth. Whether it's fertilizer to support the other fertilizers there, or whether it's in helping that fertilizer be seen that we have that's available. Okay,
Hmm.
for us to grow. And when you're in that mindset, yeah, you'll see it to fertilizer. When you're out of that mindset, the horse is going to be used as for the cavalry.
Trained for cavalry. That's
This is
right.
the old text, so it ain't the what you call it, the tanks and stuff. It horses used to take people to war,
Yeah.
you know, and
And
the thing,
that's going to be, and that's like,
you have no
what
peace.
you're doing, instead of like utilizing all of the pain that comes into your life to continue to help you grow, you
Mhm.
utilize the pain to become a victim, and then you're going to try and attack, and you're
And
going
you,
to like use it to
yeah,
build war within your life.
yes.
And that's why you're here, and you're like, I'm gonna rest, and then I'm gonna go dancing, because you're balancing your shit out.
Yeah,
When we look at like, when we look at what happened in Texas, this kid who went into this place, like, he had a lot of shit, and
yeah,
all that shit was helping him train his horses for cavalry. He was
yeah,
not he was none of the pain. He wasn't taught, he didn't see, he didn't know how to turn that pain into fertilizer.
that's right.
Nobody saw him in
He
order
didn't
to
know how to
do that.
use it so that he can
That's
grow.
right.
So all he wanted to do is pay people back. You hurt me, I'm gonna hurt everybody. And can somebody got to know something? And it was just a cry. What he did was a cry for help. And I'm so sorry that it hurt so many people. But what he was doing was a cry for help.
That's right. That's right.
So
We have to recognize that. We
and
have to
yeah.
not make him a monster. We have to make sure that we understand. We can't. We have to be able to step up to this.
Yes. Okay. What's the rest of it? Let's finish.
Yeah, real quick. Nothing is more insidious than possession. Nothing is more dangerous than desire. Nothing is more disastrous than greed. If you
Okay,
know when enough is enough, you will always have enough.
that's true. Okay, because when you start being greedy and when you start trying to possess stuff, you forget about
You have a
people, and
desire for things.
it becomes a
You want
person.
more and more and more.
Yeah, and it becomes I tell people it's people before.
Come on back up. Come on back up and land that, because that's beautiful, right? Like, we have to recognize that what this is saying is there's nothing more insidious than possession, dangerous than desire, and disastrous than greed. Possession, desire, and greed means that you don't know when enough is enough.
Right. When I talk to people, I tell them that it's people before things. Okay, it's not things in
Mm-hmm.
people, because when you put the things first, the people become second, and then you end up ruining your freaking life, going out
Mm-hmm.
all that shit, and then when as soon as you get it, if you're greedy and you get all that you want, all the drugs you want, all the money you want, you become self-destructive because you have not figured it out yet.
That's
So
right.
it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary to watch. I've watched this in lives of many people over my life, where they got into that need, desired thing, whether it was desire for the drugs, whether it was desire for a person. They got to getting crazy, man. Oh my Jesus. I cut his tires. I'm like, what? Why?
That's right.
What
That's
his
right.
tires got to do with him? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Well, I wanted to hurt him. Why? Because
Why?
how? He did this. Hey, are you doing that to you? Yeah. So who hurt
Yeah.
you?
Oh, girl, I'm
You know,
telling you know,
I'm a
I
different type
remember
of person.
I dated a woman back in the day, and she was good people. We were together for 9 years. But there was a point when she was in recovery as well, and she was in earlier recovery than I was, and someone we didn't like was around, and I had to bring him into the house, let him pick something up because he was my roommate's buddy, and she and I did not really like this person.
Hmm.
But he came in and I treated him with respect. I treated him with, dignity. I talked to him. I said, "Yep, let me help you find it. Oh, I hope you're doing well. Hope you have a great day. Yep, have a good." And he was only in the house for 3 minutes, something like that. I was done. My girl looked at me and said, "How can you be so nice to him? He's such a dick." And I was like, "Yeah, but he wasn't a dick now. He's just a person."
Yes.
Like,
Trouble.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't like what he chooses to do and how he chooses to do things, but I also can't deny the fact that he's a human being and
Amen.
here he is with me. Like, it's my responsibility to treat him as a human being. And maybe
So
that
what?
can help him,
Right.
like, not, but it doesn't even matter. It's not about an outcome. It's about me being me. Him
Yeah.
being a dick is on him. How I treat him is on me. And it was a really great conversation to have, but I don't think she understood it at the moment. I think she did over time,
That
but
takes time because, especially if you've had damage done to you
yeah.
because of because of a dick, then you're gonna
Yeah,
transfer all your emotions from the first dick to the
that's right.
funny conversation to the next one. You
Yeah.
know, until you clear that up and you recognize that, hey, he's just a dick. And then I had to move. I'm gonna say to her, I had to realize, shit, I was just being a dick, and I
Mhm.
so hey, I'm sorry. I did not mean to say that like that. However, this is I meant what I said, but I didn't mean it to say it in the way I said it.
Right.
You know,
I didn't mean to be a dick while I was saying it.
basically,
Yeah.
basically. So,
And I tell my clients all the time. So like it's important for us to recognize we're not nice people because we tell the story that we're nice people all the time, that we deserve respect. And then when we look at our actions, we can often find that maybe we don't.
man, I used to think that because I didn't. I'm gonna say this: we get to a certain part where we've cleaned ourselves up enough where you think, okay, my shit's not stinky anymore. It don't stink no more. But see, I learned that that's a lie.
That's right. That's
It
right.
made stink the way it stunk before,
That's right.
but it still stank. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
when I realized that it was my shitty responses that was getting me more shitty behavior or more dicks on the table, okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
uh, then I was like, hey, I'm just a big old dick drawing dicks.
That's it. That's it.
You
That's
know,
it. And
so-
that's when you're training your horses for cavalry, right? Like
I-
that's what that means. That's when you're training your horses. You're training that which is carrying you through life
mhm,
for war. You're training those things in your life to focus on war, to be afraid, to do all of these things. But when you're right with Tao, your horses are used, they're happy and they're hauling all of your shit out to the field to spread it.
that's right. And you know, and the thing is, the war your cavalry was getting ready for, it's not a war with anybody else. It was a war with yourself. And
It's always a war with yourself.
when you come at peace with yourself, you realize, oh my God, that's my shit. Oh shit. Oh, that stink. Or like Queen Bee Divine said, it was a little crust left back there, and it started itching me.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Then that's when I hand you a little baby wipe. Okay, we got to get all that got out of there.
Mhm.
Rid of the caca. Okay, but the whole thing is that when we realize that we are the creators of the shit and the people are just coming by to add layers to the shit that we already laid to we can't complain really. Can't
That's the
complain.
thing. Like if our entire lives are, people are going to come by and drop off shit.
Hmm.
That's what everybody's coming by to do is just to drop off shit.
Yeah.
Now, what do you choose to do with that shit? Do you choose to just like let it pile up outside your front door so you every time you walk out you feel like you're just surrounded by shit?
Right.
Or are you going to get down to work and fucking start hauling it out to your fields so that you can grow the life that you want? You can grow the abundant life full of, fruits and vegetables and
Yeah.
fucking like yes, if you have a big pile of shit out your front door every day and you don't do anything to it, and it just keeps piling up and
I don't
piling
know.
up.
And what she said, and then she said, she asked, well, how do you know? Wait, I don't know who asked. Somebody asked it, but it was like, that you in the shit when all you see is shit flies and maggots around you.
That's right.
I was like, whoa, that was good. Okay, so when we see it, we realize that the shit is emanating from us and we're projecting it out, that's when we can have compassion for ourselves and for the other person who has projected their shit onto us. But
That's
they only
right.
project their shit onto us and we only feel it. We only feel it. Here's that part. We only feel that shit if it's in us too.
That's right. That's right. It's
Okay?
not like there's no way to take on someone else's shit if
There is no
not
way.
if it's not in us first.
But if you know, and you know if it's in you, then you say, wait, me look back at it. Okay, that just came from me because I was in the mirror doing this thing that this person is hollering and screaming at me for to myself.
That's right.
Because I'm doing it to myself, they're bringing it, showing me myself so that I can use this shit to clean up, to
That's
grow.
right. That's right.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
I like I said, this works because it goes in line with everything me and different people been talking about since I've been
Oh,
ripping it
good.
about the shit. So
All right.
yeah, but
Well, I got Samantha in line, so I'm going to go ahead and
you're
jump
good.
off. But I love you, dear, and
I
have
love.
a wonderful weekend. Keep yourself safe tonight and enjoy your dance.
All right, I'm so glad I got a hold of you today because I've been missing you and I've been having to miss you. Okay, so
Yeah.
listen and keep running. All right, but I love you and I'll talk to you. I'll be waiting for that Monday on the street. Monday on the
Oh,
street.
yeah. Monday on High.
Dial the
Yep.
damn street. Okay.
On location.
Okay, so that's what I was trying to say. All right, well, thank you, Martin. Okay,
Love
bye.
you. Bye bye. Samantha, how are you, dear? Yeah, so if you're just joining me, Monday we're going to be doing a special Tao of the Day with Julie Howlett on the High Street on location in Glastonbury, England.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, she's going to be out there and she's going to be talking to people on the high street, introducing them to me and the Tao, and we're gonna talk about the Tao with people on location in Glastonbury.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that, Martin John. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's gonna be good, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
happening at this same time because this is like noon England, and 6
right.
a.m. my time. But it's gonna be a blast. I'm really excited to be bringing this to a new group of people, and they're gonna be people that we don't know because they're not on Wisdom, but
Yeah,
Julie's gonna be introducing us to them on the street, so that's gonna be fun.
very cool. Very cool.
How are you doing? How
Awesome.
was your week?
Oh my God, I am so blessed. I have had just the most amazing week. um, I almost don't want to jinx it. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
you can't, I've been talking. So, for those of you who may or may not know, I've recently started a relationship with, Andy Scarantino here on Wisdom. And we've just been kind of talking about the idea that, you cannot fuck up what is meant for you.
Well, I speaking of relationships, I'm in one and it's going really, really well. And I'm just really happy, Martin John. Like
Yeah,
the
you,
happiest I've been in a long, long time.
you and me both. You and me both. I am very happy for
Yay.
you.
I'm
And,
happy for you.
yeah, yeah. It's been, it's funny. I mean, I don't talk about this much, but like, the first time I met Andy was on a Tao of the Day, but it was before I even called it Tao of the Day. I just called it Tao
Uh-huh.
Day Ching Chats, and she had just finished. She had just happened to finish reading Wayne Dyer's book on the Tao Te Ching. And when she came up to, it was like I can honestly say like this was like 6 months ago. Like I fell in love with this woman like before her
Oh.
her timer even went out. Like, as soon
That's
as I kind of,
amazing.
like, like you have that, just that moment where your heart opens up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and that
swear to
happened,
God,
and I
when I
was
met
like,
Mark, that was exactly the same way. Like my heart just stopped. And I'm not one usually to believe in love at first sight, but that's kind of how it was.
yeah.
You know? It was just it was just love.
Well,
I don't know how
well,
else to
that's, yeah,
describe it.
and I haven't told that story on this app at all, and here I am telling it to you because it's the right thing to say at this moment. So
Yes,
let's let's
absolutely.
let's look at a number. Let's see what the Dow has for us this morning.
I am going with 54 today because I don't think I've
Wow.
ever picked anything in the 50s.
Okay, so 54
Yeah.
says, "Whoever is planted in Tao will not be rooted up. Whoever embraces the Tao will not slip away. Her name will be held in honor from generation to generation. Let the Tao be present in your life, and you will become genuine. Let it be present in your family, and your family will flourish. Let it be present in your country, and your country will be an example to all countries in the world. Let it be present in the universe, and the universe will sing. How do I know this is true? By looking inside myself."
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And of course it would have something to do with music, right?
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, that's great. Um and I am trying to stay firmly grounded and planted in my newfound spirituality, which includes the Tao, of course.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um and remaining steadfast in that. And I believe that's the basis for my happiness right now is this newfound appreciation for this spiritual awakening that I'm going through.
Yeah. It's interesting as as we talk about new relationships, and as we kind of, I want to always, like, because that's what, was came up. I want to be able to bring that back to this and see if there's something deeper. So
Okay,
whoever is planted in the Tao will not be rooted up. So I always want to kind of also mention whatever is planted in the Tao. So whoever, and that's really because we're all a whoever.
sure.
Everything is whoever, right? Like, because it's like your actions, if your actions are planted in the Tao, those are part of you, right? So whoever is planted in the Tao will not be rooted up. And that means, like, there will be at your core a you that is,
Okay,
I mean, I see this as being like, at your core there is a you. And it's oftentimes when we get in a relationship, we can often give up part of ourselves.
true.
We give up ourselves because we have desire for that relationship. But I'm really grateful to Andy, because, like, she's like, no, I want you to
Yeah, I don't. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
not change. I want you to be you, and that helps me stay rooted in the Tao, because have I don't have expectations of what I'm supposed to be.
Exactly. It's like I'm able to be my authentic self with
Mm-hmm.
Mark,
Yeah.
and vice versa. I don't want him to change at all. For instance, we woke up this morning and he's sitting right next to me and he's been grumpy all morning and I love him for it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I just think it's the greatest thing ever. And I wouldn't want him to change anything about that.
Right. And as he changes, because he inevitably will,
Sure.
as he changes, you will continue to love him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and and I say this to Andy as well. I mean, there may be a time where we grow apart, but I won't stop loving you.
Of course.
Right? Like,
Of course.
maybe the relationship will have to end, but we, as two individuals who love each other, won't. Right? Like, we will
Sure.
continue, and that's an important thing. Whoever's planned it out will not be rooted up. You won't be rooted up by the ideas that you want to uphold, or you want to, you're not planting yourself in desire. You're planting
Mm-mm.
yourself in this moment. Whoever
Yeah.
embraces the Tao will not slip away. And that's the thing. I think when you love your partner through the Tao rather than through some concept of what the relationship needs to be, they won't slip away. They will
Right.
grow, but they will always be with you. And you can always be together because you love each other. And however you grow and change and shift, that won't slip away from you. That won't slip away. As, like, maybe the relationship will. Of course, those things change,
Sure.
but whoever embraces the Tao, and if you embrace the Tao at the core of your relationship, meaning that this relationship is like this is a gift from the universe and we are just
Yeah.
here to receive it, then it won't slip away. And yes, it might go from a intense like romantic relationship to one that is of, like just respect, to one that is of intimacy, to one that is, like, and things will shift and
Things
there will
evolve.
be,
There's the ebb and the
yeah,
flow,
for even
you
in a
know?
day, like here you go, like
Yeah.
he's grumpy, so you're here to love him, and he's gonna be like all poopy, and then by 9 o'clock he'll have his coffee, everything's fine, like
Yeah.
whatever, like, and those things kind of shift and change.
I
But
told him last night, every minute that I'm with him, I love him just a little bit more. And he was like, "You're the cheesiest person I know." I was like, "That's who I am."
well,
But
yeah,
it's true.
and he and I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but hopefully he can see that even though you're the cheesiest person, he knows that's exactly why he loves you.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
He's nodding his head right now.
Her name will be held in honor from generation to generation. And this is like over time, like when you embrace the Tao, when you embrace the Tao in your relationship, and we can talk about that in relationship to other individuals, generation to generation. We can talk about generations as being even in the cells of your body.
Uh-huh.
One generation of cells, let's say your whole body regenerates every 7 years, they say, right? Like, so every 7 years, like, as you continue to love, like, the generations of your cells continue to love,
Yeah.
and that's how your name can be held up in generations of the cells of your body. But then if you decide to have children, then that could be like, this is the pinnacle of the relationship, and we want to emulate that, right? Like,
Right.
how many of, I mean, divorce had started in the 60s, but how many of us really, like, in huge numbers, but how many of us really have grandparents? It was like that love was so beautiful,
Yes. Agreed.
and we want
Agreed.
to emulate that. And like we look at the love between our parents and we're like, that doesn't measure up to the same love that my grandparents had.
Right.
And that's where, like, when you have relationship that is planted in the Tao and embraces the Tao, the name of that relationship, the image of that relationship will last for generations.
Wow.
Let
That's
the
so
Tao
spot on.
Let the Tao be present in your life and you will become genuine. Is there anything more important in a relationship than both of you being genuine?
Oh, absolutely not. We are both our authentic selves. And you know me, I'm a love me or hate me kind of person because I'm so chipper and I think it
Yeah.
drives most people crazy. And um but I wouldn't have it any other way,
Yeah.
you
Let
know?
it be let it be present in your family and your family will flourish. Let it be present in your country and your country will be an example to all countries in the world. And I think, and then let it be present in the universe, and the universe will sing. And this is a steady upward, right? Your life, your
Yes,
family, your country, your world, the universe, right? Like, and so it's
absolutely.
constant. And so it's like you start here with your life, and it will spread to your relationship. It spreads to your relationships, it'll spread to your family, it'll spread to your neighbors, it'll spread to your city, it'll spread. And then you're going to be doing you do all your music work, and that's spreading to your fans, that's spreading to more people. And when you can just allow that to continue to spread, that love that you have within you, that love that is planted in the Tao, then everything that you do will just, like, it's not like you're teaching people how to do it. You're just
No, it's
doing
more like
it.
living by example.
Yeah, but it's like some people can't even. won't even see the example that you're giving, but because you're living with such heat,
Hmm.
every time they come to you, they catch on fire as well.
Do you know who Reggie Watts is? Have you heard of him?
Reggie Watts? No.
Hmm.
I mean, it
In one
sounds
of his songs, one of the lyrics goes, "Just do everything with love, and you'll be a-okay."
yeah.
And I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
that's going
that's
to
kind of what this is
spread.
pointing towards.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's going to spread, right? And you don't have to, like you say, do things by example. Yes, okay, we do things by example, but we also want to recognize that, like, man, it's not really what we're doing. We're not trying to show people the way. We're trying to be this. And by being it, we ignite others to be that as well, because it is within the mystery
Hmm.
that this lesson gets passed on.
Wow. Oh
It
my
is
gosh.
just being that then excites the cells in another body that we are connected to. And then once those cells catch on, they start to inform the body of another person. And that's like, one of my clients said, you're kind of like a really hot log. And like, and when when I'm placed in your proximity, I I catch on fire just as hot as you know.
That's
And that's the
brilliant.
thing,
And
like it
speaking of
doesn't.
that,
Yeah, go on.
I cannot wait to take your workshop on the 7th.
Oh,
That's what I'm
beautiful.
signing up
Yes.
for. Yeah.
Oh, yes, definitely. Join me. I am excited to hear that, cuz yeah, the workshop is it's such a, Julie took the workshop before she went
Uh-huh.
on her trip, and she and that's why she wants to bring me out on High Street and stuff, cuz of how much help it has given her.
Well, I would bring you out on the streets of Iowa, but I'm not entirely sure that would go over
That would
super
go
well.
over as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
So this one ends with, how do I know this is true? By looking inside myself.
Yeah. Your authentic self.
Yeah, and by understanding that, yep, like I just let it be present in my life and I can get the universe to sing.
Absolutely. I love that line. Get the universe to sing.
Yeah,
That's my mission in life.
walk away with that. Like, yes, be inspired by that. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining. And I look forward to having you on a workshop. That is brilliant. Thank you so much for considering. Anybody doesn't know about that, I host workshops. I'll be hosting workshops for the next couple weeks until I believe the 21st of June is the last one, every Tuesday between now and the 21st of June at 9 a.m. Central. And I do workshops entitled Recover Yourself. And it's all about recovering who you are. And when you recover who you are, you do this thing by burning brighter. You burn so much brighter when you're just you. Every time you put a little, every time you're living under the influence of something, you're just putting a little mud on your fire and you're dimming it. I know it seems comfortable, but when you can be comfortable with the heat that is coming from within you, and that is overwhelming, especially when you're just feeling it for the first time, feeling the heat that you are, feeling the heat that is coming from within you, that can be overwhelming. And you're going to want to like cover up. And we cover up with all sorts of stuff like food and drugs, alcohol, all sorts of things we cover up with. And that's unfortunate because we are bright, bright beings that they can inspire people without even trying, just by being here. Thank you so much for joining me for Tao of the Day, Samantha. I really appreciate you coming up. So we covered 46 and 54. If anybody wants to step up and pick a number between 1 and 81, that'd be great. If you are interested in what I do, if you benefit from the work I do, uh, check me out. Check out my links. I do have a place where you can tip through Venmo. You can also leave a testimonial for Tao of the Day and other things I do. If you have experienced one-on-one conversations with me, or if you have come to my workshop or other things like that, I always welcome you to leave testimonials. My work is all about recovering who you are, recovering yourself. I got 21 years clean and sober, and what recovering to means to me is recovering to who you are, recovering to that who you are when you were born, like the whole you, not just recovering from something, but recovering who you are. It's because you are the bright thing that we need in the world. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this. And until next time, keep recovering yourself.